The old Victorian house stood silent, except for the occasional creaking of the wooden floors. It was the kind of place that exuded an eerie atmosphere, with its dark, antique furniture and dimly lit rooms. For years, the house had been the summer retreat of the Woods family, a place where children could run and play, and laughter echoed through the hallways. Emma, the eldest of the Woods siblings, had always been fascinated by the ornate, full-length mirror in the hallway. It was an exquisite piece, framed with intricate carvings of strange, otherworldly creatures. Emma and her siblings would spend hours staring into it, seeing their reflections distort and warp in its antique glass. One sweltering summer afternoon, the children gathered around the mirror, trying to cool off in its dimly lit aura. Emma and her younger brother Timmy watched as their reflections seemed to shimmer strangely, as if the mirror held secrets of its own. Emma leaned in closer, peering deeply into the glass, and for a moment, she thought she saw a pair of eyes staring back at her, eyes that were not her own. She gasped and stumbled back. "Did you see that?" she asked Timmy, her voice trembling. Timmy, a couple of years her junior, looked puzzled. "See what? I didn't see anything." Emma shook her head, thinking it was her imagination playing tricks on her. But as she turned away from the mirror, she heard a faint whisper, like a gentle breeze. "Emma, come back." Startled, she glanced back at the mirror, her heart pounding. There was nothing unusual about her reflection now. She turned to her brother, who had a mischievous grin on his face. "Stop trying to scare me, Timmy." Timmy chuckled, but Emma could tell he hadn't whispered anything. She tried to dismiss it as her imagination once again and walked away. However, the unease she felt persisted throughout the day, and when night fell, the children were drawn back to the mirror. They stared at their reflections, trying to make sense of the strange whispered invitation. "Emma, come back," the voice murmured once more, and this time, Timmy heard it too. His eyes widened, and he looked at his sister with a mixture of fear and curiosity. "Did you hear that, Emma?" Emma nodded slowly, her voice trembling. "I did, Timmy. I heard it too." For days, the siblings couldn't resist the pull of the mirror, and each time they drew closer, the voice grew stronger and more insistent. "Emma, come back," it implored, as if someone on the other side was desperate to reach them. Their younger sister, Lily, joined them at the mirror. She was only 5 years old, her wide, innocent eyes staring at her reflection. She didn't seem to notice the whispered words, but Emma and Timmy grew increasingly uneasy. They decided to tell their parents about the strange occurrences, but when they did, their parents dismissed it as children's imagination running wild. Days turned into weeks, and as the voice in the mirror continued to beckon Emma and Timmy, they grew more and more obsessed. They spent hours each day standing in front of the mirror, captivated by its eerie call. They began to look pale and withdrawn, their obsession with the mirror becoming all-consuming. One evening, Lily approached the mirror, her curiosity finally piqued. As she gazed at her reflection, the voice called out once more, louder and more demanding, "Lily, come back." Emma and Timmy watched in horror as their little sister's eyes glazed over, and she took a step towards the mirror, her tiny hand outstretched. Before they could react, she touched the glass, and in an instant, she was gone, as if swallowed by the mirror itself. Emma and Timmy screamed, their cries echoing through the house, but it was too late. Their parents rushed to the hallway, their faces etched with disbelief, as they found the mirror undisturbed and their youngest child nowhere to be seen. The voice continued to beckon, now stronger than ever, promising to reunite the siblings. But Emma and Timmy knew the truth. The mirror had claimed their sister, and now it sought to claim them as well. They had unlocked a dark, ancient power that could not be undone. The house, once filled with laughter and joy, had become a place of endless sorrow and dread, haunted by the whispers from the mirror. Weeks turned into months, and the Woods family home became a shadow of its former self. Emma and Timmy's parents were tormented by the loss of their youngest child, Lily, who had vanished into the mirror without a trace. They had tried everything, consulting experts, priests, and paranormal investigators, but no one could explain or reverse the sinister forces that had taken hold of their home. As time went on, Emma and Timmy's obsession with the mirror deepened, and the voice from within grew ever more seductive and compelling. It whispered promises of reunion with Lily, promises of a world beyond the mirror where the three siblings would be together again. The voice knew their deepest desires, and it used them against them, luring them closer to the abyss. One fateful night, Emma and Timmy couldn't resist the mirror's call any longer. They stood before it, their breath visible in the cold, dimly lit hallway. The voice seemed to emanate from the depths of the glass, almost as if it was a living entity. "Emma, Timmy, come back," it cooed, and the siblings were unable to resist. Hand in hand, they touched the mirror's surface, and just like Lily before them, they were pulled into the world beyond. Inside the mirror, they found themselves in a surreal, dreamlike realm. It was a twisted version of their own world, filled with eerie, dark landscapes and unsettling shadows. Lily was there too, but she wasn't the same innocent child they had lost. Her eyes were vacant, and her expression was blank, as if all humanity had been drained from her. The siblings realized with mounting dread that they were trapped in this nightmarish dimension, separated from their world forever. The voice in the mirror, once alluring, had revealed its true nature. It was a malevolent force, a devourer of souls, and it had ensnared them in its grasp. The children tried desperately to escape, but the mirror was like a prison from which there was no escape. Their pleas for help were met with cold silence, and the world inside the mirror seemed to twist and contort, mocking their every effort. Days turned into months, and Emma, Timmy, and Lily were slowly losing themselves to the mirror's grasp. They grew gaunt, their eyes hollow, their voices reduced to mere whispers. They wandered the dark landscapes, forever searching for an exit that didn't exist, forever haunted by the promise of a reunion that could never be. Back in the real world, the Woods family home remained a place of sorrow and despair. The parents had moved away, unable to bear the pain of their children's loss. The mirror was covered with a thick cloth, hidden away from sight, as if to erase the memories of the horrors it had unleashed. But the mirror's dark power remained, a malevolent presence waiting for its next victims. The house became a forsaken place, its history marred by tragedy, and whispers of the mirror's curse spread through the town. No one would dare enter the haunted house, for the mirror was a voracious beast that hungered for the souls of the living. And so the mirror continued to beckon, waiting for unsuspecting souls to draw near. Its voice, once a soft whisper, had now become a haunting, malevolent scream, echoing through the empty hallways. The children, lost to the mirror's insatiable appetite, remained trapped in the otherworldly realm, forever separated from the world they once knew. The mirror's curse would endure, a dark secret buried deep within the house, waiting to claim the next innocent souls that dared to heed its seductive call. And in the darkness of the abandoned Victorian home, the voices from the mirror whispered their dark and endless promises.